start the session. Okay. So yesterday we have just discussed about the why database is required. What is data, what is information. So we just go just a brief introduction for first 5 minutes about the yesterday session. So why database is required? In olden days they used to use the flat files. So if the day to day, if you are taking banking sector, it will be a multiple records they have to save. So if they are saving the details in the flat file, so day by day the records are increasing. If you assume that the records are reached to 1 million, so to manage that flat file, for example, if you are searching for someone within the around 1 million record, if you are searching for one student or one employee or one customer, it's very difficult. So you can't manage that data. So that's the reason Dr. E.F. Card is introduced the database. So database is required to store the data for future reference. So database is like to store the data such way that it will allow any user to access easily, and anyone can easily access, anyone can manage the data, anyone can analyze the data whenever they need, anyone can protect their data using the databases. So such way that it will store and it will provide those features to the any user who are having the database access. Okay, you can go through the yesterday session if you need full we need examples about the database, why database is required. So the all databases are relational database management system. Relational database management system means whatever the data which is stored in the database, it should be interrelated to the each other. So how the data is storing the database, guys? It store the data in the form of tables. Table can have multiple columns and multiple rows. The data is storing into the database in the form of table and in the form of rows and columns in the table. Okay, so the tables, whatever you are created, whatever is being created already or whatever you are going to create, those all are will be interrelated, one to one or one to many. One table can have connection to the another table, or one table can have many connection to the another tables. That can be discussed in further. What is data? Data is a collection of raw facts or collection of events needs to be stored in the database or stored in an object for future reference. So object is nothing but table, guys. There are multiple objects: table, sequence, synonym, index, views. These all are the object. Those all are can be one topic. We will discuss those things in their topics like views, concept, synonym, everything. So yesterday I have shown you the curriculum that we are going to discuss. So database means a collection of interrelated data. Data means there are multiple definitions I have given yesterday. So anything which is understandable by the system is called as a data, or anything which needs to be stored for the future reference in a single object, that is called data. Data is a collection of raw facts. So what is information? Metadata plus data is called as a information. Anything which is understandable by the human is called as a information. Anything which is understandable by the human is called as a information. So metadata plus data is called as a information. What is metadata? Data about the data is called as a metadata. Metadata describe about the data. So when you add metadata only, yesterday the data gets some some definition, right? When you see yesterday. So if you go through the yesterday video, you will get to know full clarity on that. So these are the databases, the sectors is using: banking, airlines, telecoms, finance, everything. Okay. So all RDBMSs are using the most common language to interact with the databases. That is called SQL language. That is called SQL language. So like this is one table, this is another table, this is another table, like this. So one table can have multiple relationship to the another table. If you take this is a one table, it is having relation with the, this is third, this is second, this is fourth, and this is fifth. So one first table is having relationship with the third table. Second table is having relationship with the third table. So with respect to the 1 and 2, it is a 1-to-1 relation. With respect to the 3 is having multiple relations. If you observe, it is third table is having the first table relation, second table relation, and fourth table relation, and fifth table relation as well. That's the reason whatever the data is stored in the database, that is interrelated data. One data can have the relation with the another table. If you see customer ID, this is customer table, this is the order table, this is the product table. If you see customer table have the relation with the order table is the customer ID column. The same way order table is having the product ID column with the product table product ID relation. So yesterday we have deeply discussed this about these things. You can go through that video. Okay. Next, what is SQL? What is SQL? So SQL is a structured query language. Also, we can refer as SQL. So it is a programming language used to interact with the RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So there is a database. If you want to interact in the sense, either you can store the data, either you can update the data, either you can delete the data, either you can read the data from the database. You can read the data from the database. If you see, we will, you no need to worry about this one. I will tell you later. Just see how we have to. See, I have connected my Oracle database 11G. So just now see how we have to interact with the data. So now I need to just fetch the data from some employee table. See, these all are the syntaxes, guys. We will discuss in future. So just I'm telling you, this is the way to read the data. So I am reading my employee data in employee table data, which is there in my database. Reading and fetching and retrieving, all three words are the same. If you call it as a reading, if you call it as a fetching, if you are calling it as a retrieving. Okay. Now I need to delete the data. Here if you see 13 rows, just I need to delete some of the data within that table. Some of the data I am deleting. See, now if you see the table, it is having 7 rows. Previously it was 13 rows. So I can retrieve the data from the database. I can delete the data from the database. Whatever I need, I can delete based on my requirement. Even I can update the data. Update the data. So you no need to worry about the syntaxes. We will discuss. I am telling you how we can interact with the data. Update EMP set, EMP number equal to 1001, where EMP number equal to 7369. So if you see here, Smith employee number equal to 7369. 7369. Now I need to update that one with the some different employee number. You see, I have updated. It is 1001. So by using SQL language, this is called SQL language. By using SQL, we can interact with our database. Interact in the sense either it is a updation, either it is a all DML operations and DDL operations, all we can perform by using this. Now, SQL is a primarily used language in the RDBMS. For any database, we should use the SQL to interact with the database. If you want to perform any action on the database, either with respect to the modify, with respect to the inserting, I mean creation the data, updating the data, deleting the data, you need to follow the SQL. So all major RDBMS, relational database management system, there are multiple RDBMS are available in the market. MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, MS SQL, DB2, Sybase, like that many things are available. Those all are the RDBMS only, relational database management system. You may get doubt, is it different across the all RDBMS? SQL is different. No, the functionality wise, the functional device, everything is the same for any technology, either PostgreSQL or MySQL, Oracle, MS SQL, MySQL, DB2. Functional device, everything is the same. Everything is the same. But why these many products are available in the market, RDBMS? So if you take it, PhonePe is they have introduced to do the detailization, to transfer money to the one account to one account. So initially, Google Pay has came, or else PhonePe has came. So later, now if you see HDFC Pay and ICICI Pay, there are multiple UPSs are introduced based on their product. The same way, Oracle has introduced Oracle Corporation Company. PostgreSQL has introduced, they have developed their own databases, Postgre Company. MySQL has developed Microsoft SQL. Microsoft Company, they have developed their own product for the database. DB2 is the IBM product. IBM Company has introduced their database. So if I need my database, which I need separately, I have to develop, I will create some separate database. But the SQL is a primarily language used to interact with any RDBMS. Any RDBMS. So now, is it different across this all different RDBMS? No, it's the same for every database, but yeah, as per the, like for example, I am creating my product, I will set some different rules for me, for my product. Somebody is developing their product, they will put some different rules for their product. How Google Pay and Phone Pay and HDFC Pay, everything is the main ultimate goal for that UPS. What is that one? The amount has to be transferred from one account to another account. Functionality, everything is the same. Functionality, everything is the same. But products are different. Google Phone Pay is the Flipkart one, and Google Pay is the Google company. HDFC Pay is the HDFC Bank. Yeah, this one Amazon Pay is the Amazon company, like that. So there are slight 1 or 2% syntax will be different, remaining everything is the same. Okay, now all DBMS like Oracle, PostgreSQL, everything, all databases use the SQL. Using SQL, you can read the data from the database. So now we have seen, right, how we have to read the data from the read or retrieve or fetch the data from the database. All are same. So we can discuss what is select command, what is delete, everything. So write data into database. So what is database? Database is used to store the data for the feature reference. Feature reference, right? Write in the sense, whatever you are storing, creating the data, that is the write data into the database. Next, create, modify, and delete the data from the database. You can insert the data, you can delete the data, you can update the data. Whatever the data is available in the database, you can update it and you can delete it. If you want to create some other table and store the data, then you have to follow the create command. So we will discuss deeply. Just I am explaining this one. Next, analyze the data. So even, for example, why if you take it as a one BA developer, Tableau or Power BI, some other thing, they have to retrieve the data from the database, then they have to analyze the data and they have to build the report. So whenever you need to analyze the data, you can able to analyze to connecting the database based on the data which is available in the database. Next, they can build the reports. They can build the reports by using the existing data. By using existing data. So SQL, existing data. There is one more slide. One second, please. Yeah, okay, fine. So now, you know, right? Data is a collection of events. Collection of events needs to be stored in a single object called as a data, or else collection of raw facts. What is events? So any transaction which you are performing the database, that is called one event. Either with respect to insert the data, either with respect to modifying the data, either it with respect to removing the data from the database. Any transaction which you perform in the database, that is called one event. For example, if you performing one transaction on your account, that one transaction is a one event. So like that way, there are two types. Here, the events needs to be stored in a single object. Object is a nothing but a table, indexes, sequence, synonyms, all are objects. Nothing but a table. So there are two types of objects we have. One is user object, another one is the system object. One is user object, another one is the system object. So what is user object? In database level, we have only two objects. One is user object, another one is the system object. System object. So now, what is user object? What is user object? What is user object? It's created by the user and manipulated by the users, and it contains the user data. Manipulation in the sense, yeah, creating, I mean, inserting, deleting, updating. That is the manipulation. So if you create any object, if you create, for example, I need to create one table. Create table table name, something I will write. Create table, table name. So that is called, if I create one table, that is created, that is user object. That is user object, because user has created that object. And user only can manipulate that, user only can manipulate that object. That means we can delete the data, like update data like this, and delete the data like this. Update the data like this and delete the data like this. So if you see, don't think about this syntaxes. I'm just to explaining more relevant way. I'm showing you. We will discuss those things. What is create everything. So I'm just creating one table. Table is just June. Okay. Just I am creating one table having one column. Table is created. Who is created? I am the user for this database. Whoever having the access to the databases, they are the call it as a separate user. They are the users for the database. If you take the bank, who are the users for the bank? Whoever having the account holders in the banking sector for that bank, they are the users and customers for that bank. The same way, who are the having the access to the database, they are the users for that database. Now I have created one table. So this is called this table. This is called user object, because I have created this table and I can manipulate this table data, and it contains the user data. So if I insert one row, for example, I am storing the data, insert into one value. No need about this, worry about this syntaxes. We will discuss. See, now I have stored one information. I have stored one information with respect to the June. See, I just inserted 10 in the June table. So this is called user data. Whatever you have insert the data into the table, that is called user data. The user object created by the user and manipulated by the users, and it contains the user data. Even I can delete the data. Even I can delete the data. See, now I can delete the data. If you see the row, whatever I have inserted, that is I have deleted. If you observe, you see no row selected. That means there is no data in this table because we have deleted. So whatever user created, that is called user object, and it manipulated by the users, and it contains the user data. Next, another object is single system object. Another object is system object. What is system object? It is nothing but a system created object. We can call it as a data dictionaries, which are already available in the database. So you no need to create. By default, whatever the database you are maintaining with respect to Oracle, with respect to MySQL, with respect to MS SQL, with respect to PostgreSQL, any database, automatically when you install that database, there are some tables will be created automatically. Those all called as a system created objects. We will discuss those things deeply in future. Okay. Next one is so in terminology wise, whenever I speak object or entity or table, all are same. If you call it as a object or entity or table, all are same. Attribute or column, all are same. Record, tuple and row, all are same. In real time, we will call it as a object, entity and table. For one table, we can call it as with these three alternative names. Attributes are field or column. That is, attribute and column. That is the, if you call it as a attribute, that is nothing but a column only. If you call it as a record or tuple, that is nothing but a row. So here, what is table? This is the table name. These all are the columns. These all are the rows. Columns will be like this, like this. These all are the columns. Column will be like this. Rows will be like this. So what is table? Combination of columns and rows is called as a table. What is table, guys? Combination of rows and columns is called as a table. Okay, these all are the columns. These all are the columns and these all are the rows. Combination of columns and rows is called as a table. Clear? If I call it as an object, if I call it as an entity, if the both are nothing but a table. If I call it as an attribute or if I call it as a column, both are same. If I call it as a row or record or tuple, both all are same. Clear? So before going to the table, what and all we required? Before going to create a table, what and all we required? What and all we required? So we will see now. Before going to the table, what and all we require, we will see. So I said Oracle database store the, data store into the database in the form of table. The table can have multiple columns and rows. So ultimately data will store in the database in the form of tables only. Data will store in the database in the form of tables only. So now, as per Oracle database, data stored in two structure in the database. One is table space, another one is the data dictionaries. Another one is the data dictionaries. What are the data dictionaries, guys? Data dictionaries is nothing but a system object. System created tables. We never create those things. We never create those things. Whenever we install the software in our mission database, automatically some of the tables will get stored by default. By default, what and all tables is available in the database, those all are the data dictionaries, system created objects. Okay. Now, what is table space? What is table space? Table space. Table space is nothing but an interface. Interface. You know, right? What is interface? For example, if you take it as your home, if you are entering into the one of your room, what is interface for that room? Door is the interface for that room. When you open the door, then only you can able to enter into the inside room. Without opening the door, is it possible to enter the inside the room? It's not possible, right? So by through door only you have to enter into your room. Either it is called a bedroom or something else. So what is the interface there? Door is the interface. The same way we have we have interface for the table as well. for the table as well. Interface for the table as well. Might I have deleted that one? Okay. The same way, table space is the interface for the table. There are three types of tables, guys. Permanent table space, temporary table space, undo table space. Permanent table space, temporary table space, undo table space. Undo table space. How the table space will be there? How the table space will be there? For any table, there is a interface. For any table, there is a interface. So the table spaces are three types. One is permanent table space. Another one is the temporary table space. Another one is the undo table space. How the interface will be there? How the interface will be there? This is a table. This is a table. Table can have, table is a collection of columns and rows. These all are the columns. These all are the rows. These all are the rows. So now this is your, see how the hard disk will be there, guys. How the hard disk will be there. I hope everyone knows. This is the hard disk. It will be there like this. You know CD, right? DVD or CD in our home. This is the hard disk. Hard disk will be like this. Hard disk will be there. So in between this table and hard disk, there is a DBF file. There is a DBF file in between that. DBF file. DBF file. This is the DBF file. This is the DBF file. This is the DBF file. So this is the hard disk. This is the table. This is the table. So this is the interface between, this hard disk and table. Hard disk and table. So if you have performed any transaction, it will be stored in this table space. DBF file is nothing but a table space. How it will work? Let us show you the practically. How it will work. If you take it our laptop also, there is a hard disk. The hard disk is our database. So permanent table space. What is permanent table space? It store the data. It store the data. It store the data. It store the data permanently after commit. Permanently after commit. How it works? For example, here there is a one file. For example, here there is a one file. The folder name is, if you observe, class. So I am saving one file, one image. What is that image? Class 4 thumbnail. Class 4 thumbnail. So before going to the permanent table space, we will discuss about the temporary table space, undo table space. So what is temporary table space? The deleted data will be stored in the temporary table space, which can be rolled back. For example, you have this table is having some 100 rows. Within 100 rows, you have deleted some 10 rows. The data 10 rows, where it will get stored? In the temporary table space. Within temporary table space, In temporary table space, it will save. In the table space, it will store the temporary table space. The deleted data will be stored in the temporary table space. How? What is the temporary table space? Now I am deleting this file. Where it will get stored if you delete, guys? Now I have deleted. There is no class for the image thumbnail. Where it will get stored if you delete the file? In your mission?
Recycle.
Recycle bin. So now what is the temporary table space for the laptop in our laptop hard disk? Recycle bin. So now if you come and refresh here, this is called temporary table space. See, class 4 thumbnail 744 deleted. The same way, if you delete the data from the table, that will be stored in the temporary table space. That will be stored in the temporary table space, which we can roll back. That means you can get the data back again by using some rollback command that we can discuss later. Or else select or from. Let me show you. Here select star from EMP. The EMP is having some 7 records. See, now delete from EMP where DEPT number equal to 10. You no need to worry about these queries, we will discuss. I have deleted 3 rows. Now if you see the data from my employee table, how many records are there? Only 4 records. Before delete, how many records were there? 7 records. Within 7 records, we have deleted 3 rows. After deleting, we have 4 rows. So where it will get stored, guys? The deleted data now? In the temporary table space. So which we can roll back by using rollback statement. See, now if I use the rollback, now you can see the table data again. See, now after doing the rollback, now again 7 records came. After deleting, it was only 4 rows. Once we have done the rollback, so we have 7 records. How it has came the 7 records? So here the deleted data stored in the deleted data, whatever we have done, right? It stored in the temporary table space in the DBF file. It does not commit it to the data into the hard disk. Hard disk in the sense database. It does not commit the data in the database. Where it has stored? It has stored in the temporary table space. When you have given rollback, it comes to the table again. It comes back to the table again. It comes back to the table again. Now, clear, right? What is temporary table space? Now, the same way, if you open the recycle bin, see, now how I need to get this data back again? By using restore. Where it will get stored? Where it will go? Once you have done the restore, where it will go? Same path, wherever it was there. Same path, same directory it will go and it will store. If you see here, see, again it came. Class 4 thumbnail. Clear, right? Temporary table space. Now undo table space. Undo table space. What is undo table space? Drop table details are stored in the undo table space, which can be rolled back. Now we have deleted the data and it has stored the temporary table space. And by using rollback statement, we have get the data back again. That's the reason it is a temporary, it's a not permanent. Next, undo. Undo table space is like the same way, whatever you have dropped, you can get the data back again. For example, I am dropping one table and the empty table. So I have dropped it. If I see the data, table or view does not exist because we have dropped the table. We have removed the data from we have removed the table in the database. Where it will get stored in database if you remove. How we have recycle bin in our laptop hard disk. The same way database also having one recycle bin. The dropout table details are stored in the recycle bin. The dropout table details are stored in the recycle bin. So the dropout table details are dropped in the sense removed. The removed table details are stored in the undo table space. That means we can undo that again. Whatever, for example, you sent one email by mistake, you want to within like there are 5 seconds or 30 seconds, undo option will be enabled. If you click on undo, the whatever you have done that by mistake, it will get rolled back again. The same way here, the removed table details are stored in the undo table space, which can be flashback. And the undo table space is nothing but it's a recycle bin for the database. How we have to get the database table back again? There is a flashback query. There is a flashback query. You no need worry about this query. So I am giving just introduction how the table space, how it has to be, everything. Okay. We will discuss again for every query. We will discuss in the future. Flashback table. Table name is what is that one? TMP. Before drop. So what I am telling to the recycle bin, I need to flashback. I need to get the data back again. Whatever I have removed the employee table again. Before going that, I will show you. See, recycle bin. So now I will show you whether the table, whatever removed the table, it came and stored in the recycle bin or not. The drop time also it will store. Did we created this table, guys? No. How it is available? This is called a data dictionary. System created table. We haven't created. This is created by the system. From if you go here, what table we have dropped? Employee table. When we have dropped, see 750. 750. If you see 753, 9 June. See. Now where it is saved this day, this table, where it has saved, it has stored in the recycle bin. Now I need to get the data. I need to get that table back again. Flashback table name to before drop. How it has there before drop, before remove the table, same way I need. Same way I need. See, flashback is completed. Now, if you try to retrieve the data again, after remove this table, table or view does not exist. Error we received. But now see again table data we got. So where it has saved? It has saved in the undo table space. For your knowledge, I am explaining this one, guys. For subject related, you no need. Why I am explaining this one is, if you have in-depth knowledge how data is storing, once you delete where it will go, once you retrieve where it will come, then you can easily handle with the database. That's the reason I'm explaining. So it's stored in the undo table space. When you give the flashback, it will come again. Now permanent table space. Permanent table space. What is permanent table space? It will store the data permanently in the database after commit. It will store the data into the database permanently after commit. How it will be? It will be simply like, for example, this is a file. This is a file. This is a file. So I need to remove this file permanently. What we will do? It should not store in the recycle bin also. What we will do, guys?
Shift to delete.
Shift delete. The same way, shift delete. Shift delete. So now you can go and check. Even it won't available in the recycle bin. This is the recycle bin. I'm just giving refresh. Is the file is available here? Whatever you have deleted? No, because it's deleted permanently from the database. It's deleted permanently from the database. Now the same way, so I am deleting some of the records where DPT number 30, for example. What is not the see 4 records I have deleted. Previously, employee table, how many records we have? 7 records. Now we have 4 records. 4 records deleted. So ultimately, how many records will be available in the table? 3 records mainly. So now I don't need to get the data back again. I need to commit this data permanently to the database. So now even if you give the rollback, we cannot get the data back again. See? Why? Because we have commit the data to the database. That is called permanent table space. Permanently, it will store the data into the table. So even if you try to get the data back, like how we have done temporary table space rollback, same way if you done it also, we doesn't get the data back again. If you get the data back again means it should have 7 rows, but still it is having 3 rows only. So remaining 4 rows permanently deleted. Clear, guys? Anyone is having any doubts? How the data stored? What is the interface? Table space. Anyone is having any doubts?
Clear, sir.
Okay, fine. Next, data dictionaries. I said, right, system created tables. When you install the software, automatically some tables can install it. Those all called as a data dictionary. See, user underscore tables, all underscore tables, user underscore cons underscore call. Like that, we have many. Like that, we have many. So one is how the data stored in the database, guys. One is logical structure, another one is the physical structure. Logical structure is the 2 types, table space and data dictionaries, you know. Now physical structure, how the data stored physically in the database. So it is stored physically in a table and indexes. Stored physically in the data into a table in the form of tables. Data stored in the database in the form of tables. Physically, it will store the data. Physically, to store the data. If, for example, if you see, see, it is one table, collection of rows and columns. Physically store the data into the database in the form of table and indexes. Now you know, right? Table is came into the picture because database has a functionality that it will store the data into the two structures. One is logical structure, another one is a physical structure. Logical structure is nothing but logically it will available, but physically it does not available. Physical structure in the nothing but logically is nothing but a like a cloud database. Cloud, not in the sense cloud. So it will available, but it is not physically available. Presence is not available. Physical means physically it will available in the data into the database in the form of tables and indexes. Now come into the picture table. To get table into the how it has came into the picture, I have explained these all the things to understand why data has to be stored in the table only. To understand that one, I have explained this one. Okay, physically store the database. Two structures. Physical structure is nothing but a table and indexes. So table, it contains a data object. It is a database object. It is a database object and use it to store the data. Why we use table, guys? We used to store the data permanently into the database. Whenever we required, we can retrieve the data or we can read the data, we can fetch the data. Whenever we need, we can utilize. Why we need? If you go to the bank, once a bank customer open the account book, bank has to be store that customer details permanently into the bank database, because whenever in future the customer come into the bank, they will give that passbook and he need to withdraw some money. When they employee enter the account number of that bank, they have to get the account holder details along with the signature. Signature also should be, image also should be stored in the database. How we can store the image? By using the procedures we can discuss in the PLSQL concepts. Why? Because the database has to be maintained. Whenever customer go and try to withdraw or deposit money, they will enter the account number. They will see whether the customer is same customer or different customer. So why they have saved? For feature purpose. The same way data is stored. Database table is a database object used to store the data. It is a collection of rows and columns. It is a collection of rows and columns. So now the syntax of table. What is syntax? Syntax is nothing but, what is syntax? Syntax is nothing but a set of rules. We must and should follow the rules. For example, there are some, if you take it as a college, if you take it as some university, they will put some rules, right? You have to come in this annual form. If you take it as some company, they will put some any you can wear western dress also. There is no objection. But some companies, if you take Infosys, if you take Capgemini, except Friday, you should go in the formal dress only. That is the rule. The same way, when they are developing the software, they have kept some of the rules. How the data has to be stored, the what and all, how you have to store, what and all parameters you have used. Those are some set of rules they have developed. Those rules called as a syntaxes. So we must and should follow those rules. Then only you can able to create the data, create a table, you can read the data, you can delete the data, you can perform any transaction, any action on the database by using those rules only. So what is syntax, guys? Syntax is a set of rules which is developed by the based on their product database. Database, like for example, Oracle means Oracle Corporation, they have developed it. Okay, you must and should follow those rules. What is that? Create table name. You must to, if you want to create a table, you must and should follow. You must and should follow this syntax only, this rule only. So if you put this bracket means it's a mandatory. If I put this flower bracket also mandatory, that we can discuss later. So if you want to create a table, you must have to follow this syntax. Create table name, open parenthesis, column, data type, then size. Like that, comma separated, we can write multiple columns. Column 1, column 2, and so on, many columns. We can write it. Here, see, I need to create a student table for to track my student college information. Create table student, open parenthesis, column 1, student ID. ID means it's a number. So these all are the data types, guys. We will discuss now, like next class. From tomorrow onwards, we will discuss about the data, very important. So to create a table, what and all you require? To create a table name you required, column name you required, data type and data size you required. So to create a table, see student ID, say number data type. I have declared a number. First name. So name is a alphabetical, right? A to Z. So that is a string data type and character data type. So that's the reason varchar we have taken. So like this way, we have multiple data types. So to create a table, we need a table name, we need a column name, we need data type. If you want to create one table, we need table name, we need column name, we need data type. So you table name means you can directly give. Column name also you can directly give based on your requirement. Why I have taken the SID? I need to the same name student. So multiple students can have same name. How I need to identify them? By using some ID. So that's the reason I have maintained the student ID. So it is a unique ID. For one student can have only one ID. So I can give based on my requirement how I need to store the student information. Based on that we will give the column names. So I need student ID, student name, student last name, his date of birth, his joining date of the institute, his fee, how much he is facing, and whether he is a male or female gender. So based on that I will give column name. Okay. Next to data type. Based on the data which you are going to insert for that columns, based on that you have to declare the data types. So very important. So far we have discussed what is the background of this database, how it is stored. From tomorrow it will start the actual practical session. From tomorrow it will be everything practical, no theoretical. Okay, there are multiple data types we have: character data type, number data type, character, number, date time data type, raw data type, long raw data type. Like that we have multiple data types. These all are the data types: character, number, date time, large, row ID, long. Mostly in real time, we use much this database, these three only. Rare cases we use this remaining three. We will discuss one by one tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards. So don't miss the session from tomorrow, because tomorrow onwards we execute the queries and we will show you how the data store in the database, what and all data types you require to store the database, based on which data type it will allow to enter the data. Everything we will discuss from tomorrow. So please don't miss the class from tomorrow, guys. So that's all for today's session. I'm ready to take up if you have any doubts. Anyone is having any questions, guys? I will take the 10 minutes for the question QA.
No, bro.
Abdullah, is
Sir,
it
will
fine
you
for
be,
you? Abdullah, you might have disconnected. Yeah, tell me what and all doubts you have.
sir, will you be sharing this notepad file with us?
Notepad file, it is a running notes. I will try to build one separate. People are asking about the material. So I will try to build that material and I will give it to you. Okay?
Yeah, sir, because in the classroom we are just listening, we need the notes also.
Yeah, okay, sure, no worries.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions, guys? You can contact me. We will discuss on that part. Sunil, you can contact. Nothing. If you have, then we are good to close the call.